Good afternoon, it's Crankiest Fozzie back again. I am addressing, because in my previous video I stated that I would like to try a second save, or second series should I say, called I Play Your Way. Now, as I said, I was very open to ideas with regards to doing that, and I just want to relate to Godfrey Drummond, who did state it's the only person who really sort of suggested a challenge. But please do suggest challenges. I want to see what I can do with certain teams. The idea of this save will be literally get them running, see how I can get them going, how I can improve their team, what I would do tactically, and if it's a challenge that obviously Godfrey you might be interested in doing, then maybe you want to continue with a similar vein of form as to what I've done, or you might want to do it slightly differently. But yeah, so the purpose of this video here is I didn't want to go in and go, right, this is what I've done, this is what I'm going to do. I want you to see my reaction as to what the team is. I've not looked at them at all. So I've literally loaded the game up, started the save, large database, I've loaded quite a few leagues, but obviously they are an amateur team in their division. The contracts are none and void. If I've got a player that's performing, or if you've got a player that's performing, is doing really well, any of those teams in that division can go, oh, look at that, he's nice, isn't he? He scored a few goals, thank you very much, we'll take him. We've got, let's start from the top. So we've got home. Again, my profile is always going to be the same. I have 0 badges and Sunday League footballer. I wasn't a professional, nothing like that. I've played football in the past for many, many, many years. Obviously, you know I coach, but me personally, that is what I would be on paper in reality. Probably a bit better than that, to be fair. I'm being a bit harsh on myself, but yeah, so let's have a look. So there's me. We've obviously got all our basic meetings, etc. Screw all that. Let's have a look at the team report for a start. Now, the first thing I'm going to look at is the comparison. Mentals is... So we've got good composure for a team that's very rubbish. Oh, look at all this though. Bravery. Don't tackle, just stand there, please. No challenges. Position yourself and just hope for the best. I don't know how we're going to cope with this. Let's just narrow it down though, because yeah, where are we? We're 5th. In fact, we're mid-table. It's not bad. I was being a bit harsh. That was team collectively. Midfielders. Oh. So straight away, I can tell you, I need to look at players that are going to come in that are going to be more than willing to make a challenge. And at the moment, our midfield, don't depend on them to make a challenge, because they're just going to, they go running up and they go, oh, I don't want to make that challenge, sorry, no. My kit has got to stay clean. Yeah, a bit worried about that. Technical, but they've got marking. Hang on. Let's second for marking. So I could, positionally, they should be okay then, based on what I'm seeing here. Sorry, let's take it off the goalkeeper. So what have we got? Okay, long. Technique, they're quite bad technical. So with that technique, I would not play on a attacking mentality. The technique is terrible. So passing out from the back. In the first video, I remember saying to you that if you play an attacking mentality, you will try and play out from the back. There was a highlight, I don't know why I didn't pick up on it in the match itself, but there was a highlight where my left back received the ball and he dwelled on it. He wanted to play out from the back and he got caught, and we very, very nearly conceded as a result of that. So if you are going to play on an attacking mentality, expect your defenders to make mistakes, basically. So based on what I'm looking at here, I will not be playing on an attacking mentality. Mental, physical, what we like. Strength, 0, but virtually. Defenders wise though, sorry, let's look at this. Strength is 9th in the league. They're not very strong, so the marking's okay, but their strength is poor. Bravery's poor. What about attack? Wow, we've got goal scorers. Okay, this looks good. Heading, probably got a target man in there. Anticipation. Do you know what? Attacking wise, pace is quite low. So I'd build up. I wouldn't play over the top football with that because the pace is very, very low. So I'm just sort of looking at the team from a comparison. Now let's have a look at the squad depth. So what have we got? We've got a poacher who's got no pace, but he's finishing, first touch, composure. He's going to score me goals. Passing. But this division, I reckon, is probably, what are we? League 1. It's probably about League 2 or national national level in England. And apparently, I don't know if this is true. Please tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. But Queen's Park play in the English FA Cup. Is that correct? I read it somewhere. So, competitions. Let's have a look. Scottish Cup. But I don't see it there, so maybe I'm wrong. Right, let's have a look. So we got there. So we've got 2 strikers. A poacher, Brady. Pace, composure. Yeah, he's off the ball is quite good. Finishing. Yeah, okay. We can work with him. Brady. Okay, Thomas Orr, I like him. Sean Burns. Now, he's coming up here, fullback. As a winger, crossing. His pace is not very good. It's quite an average player. Really average. And then David Galt. First touch is very good. Passing 8 though. So yeah, I'll bring it down, but what I do with it thereafter is not that great. Look at his positioning off the ball. This guy is shocking. But he's got quite good physicals, but just not strength. Same side. Right, Luke Donnelly, what have I got to work with in midfield? Determination 4. Bravery 8. Positioning 9. Teamwork 9. Passing's okay. Tackling 5. I think it's safe to say we need to address this middle of the park. This is the most important part of the pitch, the spine. So I don't know if you noticed, but with my White Hawk team, I played a defensive forward up top who's closing down. Then I had 2 ball-winning midfielders, and then a central midfielder on defend. Then obviously your 2 centre backs. So the idea of that when you play an LLM is to make sure the middle of your pitch is really, really strong and attack from the wings. And if you can't break them down from the front because they're not coming out, then you can sort of bring these 2 narrower and then get these 2 to overlap. But in that scenario, I'd bring my central midfielder down there to defend. If I had a good enough player to do it, I would play a half-back. So I've got 3 at the back all the time. I've got overlapping them, sort of dragging defenders out like magnets. And just keeping the spine of the team very, very strong. That's the aim of the game. Keep the middle of the park strong and then exploit the outsides. But there are teams that you can play against that, like 4-4-2 for example, it can be quite difficult to break it all down, but there are many ways of playing the game. But all I do with LLM striker wise is I will play a poacher and a defensive forward, because both of those have fewer risky passing. If I'm playing a deep line forward, they have to be very technically gifted, because they try throwing the ball around a lot with the risky passing. So like I said before, you need 1 player. 2 can do it, but I usually focus on 1 player making those dangerous passings, because you want it as risk free as possible. What have we got defensively? Central defender positioning. Bravery, jumping reach, heading, anticipation, pace isn't that great. Okay, he's okay, I like him. Then we got this guy on loan from Morton. He's got marking, heading's average, tackling's not great, jumping reach 6. What position do you play again? He's 21 though, so concentration, anticipate. He's rubbish. He's a 3-star player and he's absolutely shocking. Yeah, there's some work here. There is some work, and I'm not going to go too much into this. I just wanted to analyse the team and see where our strengths and weaknesses are. But so far, I can see that we need a couple of midfielders. What's he like? Wow, I like that. His natural fitness and stamina is 17. Determination is quite low though, so is he going to get back? I've run all the way up the pitch, I did that. Do I have to run back as well, for God's sake? Marking, tackling. Yeah, he's okay. He's very limited. Very limited. Flair 1. He's a defender though, I'll let him off. Goalkeeper, what have we got between the sticks? Reflexes are 14, kicking 12. So maybe look for long balls. Handling's 8. Aerial reach. Jumping 9. Yeah, he's okay. So this isn't easy. This is not going to be easy at all. And I'll tell you for why. The defence is okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. We've got something to work with here. We've got a couple of good strikers. Can either of these, it would be lovely. He's obviously, he can do a number of things. He's actually quite good. But what I want to know is, have I got a player that can do that? I want a defensive forward, because A, it pushes pressure on the opposition defence. You can get a player to close down more, but defensive forward has a combination of fewer risky passes and defend from the front. Or you can go with the poacher, which is lay the ball off and then make the run in the box. So it's simple passing, and that's at this level it's really key. Like, you can play advanced forward with wingers, and then what you'll find is that all they're trying to do is push the balls in behind, and you need that perfect pass to make it before it gets reached, and an opportunity is created based on that. But I like to keep it really, really simple. So wide midfielders, defensive forward or poacher, central midfielders, players that are going to keep it really simple. You can do adventurous stuff like advanced playmakers, deep line playmakers, all of that sort of stuff. But think about how much risk do you want to take. If you are playing on a defensive mentality, and you've got your winger, advanced forward, then you're taking quite a lot of risks. Now, I'm not saying don't take any risk, because otherwise, where's your goals coming from? You have to take some risk, but just be really, really apprehensive about releasing players. And if you are going to release players, do it with purpose. If you've got an opportunity to have lots of space down the right, then yes, certainly have a winger and have a winger on attack. But if it's not there, especially attack mentality, if you're releasing the players, you need to make sure that you're going to do it where the opposition are vulnerable. Don't take risk for the sake of taking risk. Just think. That's what most people do when they play this game, and I did for a long time. I would literally just go, right, I'll do him on attack, him on defend, him on support, him on attack, Yeah, I'm going to get him to go up with him as well on attack. I might put him on support. And it's random. It's really, really random. And if you get a result, you're like, yeah, I did it. And then you go, oh, I'm going to save that tactic because that worked. But it worked because the opposition might have left a gap. And you've exploited it without even knowing it. And then next time you'll play a team that does something completely different, you're like, well, that's shit. That didn't work. Why did it work in that match and not this match? It's literally just analysing your opposition. Let me just give you an example. So I'm playing Cowden Beef. Cowden Beef. Let's have a look at them. They haven't set up any tactics yet, so it's too early to do this. But all I would do is I'd look at their team and I would look at who scored their goals, what type of goal have they scored, who assisted that goal, and then I would make tweaks based on that. But what I can see here is they are playing, just looking at this, advanced forward, deep line forward, wide midfielder, central midfielder on defend, central midfielder support or a ball winner, and then a wide midfielder on the right, probably. Because of the division, I don't think they're going to be having wingers, inside forwards, advanced playmakers or wide playmakers. I think they're going to be very simple and wide midfielders. Excuse me. So, just looking at my team for a second, I see we've got a hell of a lot of central midfielders here. So what it might pay to do is, like, wingers are very, very adventurous. Like, obviously he's very good, so I need to play him. But on the other side, he's right-footed, so he could play as an inverted winger. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. But I can look to drop this back down to here and have wide midfielders, or do it on the other side and release the other, etc. But fluid system looks to me like I'm going to go somewhere down that route of keeping the team really tight together so that we can go forwards, build up, and then if we lose the ball, at least we've got support around the ball, and hopefully the opposition make a mistake, because it seems like most of my team are not going to make a tackle. Then we're going to go, yeah, don't fancy that one, yeah, I'll leave it for you. And we're going to concede a lot of goals. I can say that already, based on that midfield. It's not the greatest. But I'm going to spend time looking for players. Is there anybody who's interested? In fact, there's 239 players that are found. Right, so let me just give you a clue as to how I would look for a player. First thing I'm going to do is determination. What are we lacking? We're lacking bravery, so let's stick that one in there as well. A bit of positioning, teamwork. Let's have some passing, and yeah, let's just start with that. And I don't know what this division is like. I'm going to look at the division properly, but let's start with. Okay, so based on that, I've got 5 players found, so let's just have a little look. Determination, it's got passing, positioning, his pace isn't the best. Left-footed central midfielder. So let's offer them all a trial. Get them in, take a look at them. Don't waste money on sending out a scout. Get them in, take a look, and what the best thing to do as well is put them all in the under 23s and then play a game with your first team against these trialists and see how well the trialists do against your first team. And because you've filtered it down based on attributes that you want to look at, DNA for example, then you will get a really, really good idea of who's worth signing, etc. But I'm thinking this league is probably somewhere around the National League. These players don't look too great, but we'll find out more when they come in. I am going to look at my staff. I'm going to sign new staff, etc. And I make sure that literally the roles that I'm looking to sign, that they've got really high attributes in that particular area. I downloaded, and you can find this yourself. I will put a link in the description. of, so if I go new search and manage filters, import FM Scout. So there you go, it's on the FM Scout website, and you can look for the staff filters. Okay, so then literally once you've got that loaded, you can find coaches based on this, for example. So if I want a physio, for example, it will filter it down for me. Let's say something a bit more fun, like an attacking coach. So it will automatically have these things in there, and then just filter down. Don't accept the first one that comes up. Say for example that only one comes up, do it so there's a couple. There you go, and then just look through each of those and find out which one's the best one for you. Also, when I am looking to sign staff, I try to sign staff members that like the same type of formations I do, because you're then on the same page. And if you're picking teams, if you're asking coaches for advice, etc., then they are going to think along the lines of what you would. And if you're ever signing a director of football, now I find them quite useful. What I do is I will get my director of football to look for players, but don't finalise the sign-in, because he will find you some really good players, especially when you haven't got a clue about divisions, etc. I have no idea about this division. So if I don't know if I do, overview, do I have no director of football? So let's look for one. Staff search. Let's look for a director of football, because they do find you some really good gems. Okay, so, but we're limited with money with this team, so I don't, in fact, scrap that ain't happening. But yeah, just, I don't know what else to say really. I will keep you updated. I am going to obviously play the pre-season friendlies. Don't ever skip those, because they are really good indications as to how your team look. And if you want the best out of your games, play on comprehensive. Now, Busternet made a comment. I'm not going to keep dropping Busternet's name, because I am very grateful for what he's done for me, endorsing my channel. But I'm not going to keep sucking up to you. I'm looking forward to going on the show. I really am. But I'm grateful, but I'm not going to keep name dropping. When you're playing on comprehensive, you get the real opportunity to make the changes you really require. And if you are struggling, my target market with these videos is for people that are struggling to get the best out of their game. Now, playing the game on very fast speed, or playing on extended or key, if you pay for a ticket and you go and watch a match, say for example I'm a season ticket holder at Brighton, if I'm paying £48 it is a game, and then turn around in my seat and just face the pitch for, I don't know, 15% of the match, how can I possibly get the whole experience by doing so? Playing in comprehensive will give you all of the knowledge you need to, from a manager's point of view, make tactical decisions. And how can you make a tactical decision if you've only seen 10% of the game? I know it's a numbers game, you can see it in the stats. If you really wanted to, you can go into analysis and you can look at the key passes, the mistakes, etc. You can sort of dwindle it down by that. But if you want to get a real grip of how to make decisions and you want success, you need to analyse it. And I find that playing in comprehensive, I find it more fun, if I'm honest. I don't like rushing for a season playing on key. I like to watch the game, make analysis, choices. I like to make my decisions based on that. And then I find that teams, the reason why I get so many good results is because I play on comprehensive and I play it in normal speed. So that's it really. That's all I'm going to say for now. Question, where would you like me to get to before I come back? Would you like to see like every couple of games? Would you like to see me get to a point and then show you what I've done? Because I'd like to know your feedback on how you would like to see these videos. Do you want me to go in detail, or do you just want highlights? You tell me. But that's all I'm going to say for now. I'll wait for your feedback. Oh, we've got a nice friendly here against West Brom. That big, nice little test. Cowdenbeath. I've actually been to Cowdenbeath recently. We went up to Scotland, me and my partner, a couple of Christmases ago. It was beautiful because it was really, really snowy. We drove up there. It took like 12 hours, and we drove back as well in a smart car, believe it or not, which is ridiculous. But Cowdenbeath is just the other side. If you imagine Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland, there's a massive bridge that goes across, and Cowdenbeath's just there. It's on the sort of crossing there. But yeah, I fancy a win against them, because I know that they love to leak goals. But yeah, you tell me what you want to see, and any other suggestions regarding other teams you'd like to see me analyse and improve, then do let me know. But thanks for your time, guys. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and look forward to hearing from your comments. Take care. Bye.